Welcome back. In this segment, we are going to discuss design of interference fits. And as you may recall that there were three classes in locational fits. We discussed locational clearance fits in the previous segment. And one of those three classes is the locational interference fits. So interference fits are those which result after the tolerances have been applied to mating parts and which always produce an interference when they are assembled, no matter which combination of hole and shaft sizes are selected. So clearance fits always produce a clearance and interference fits always produce an interference. These are used where accuracy of locating one part with another is of primary importance. Again, it is not intended to be a fit which will transmit motion. So we cannot transmit motion using interference fits. That is the a case of clearance fits. So we will design clearance fits when we need to transmit motion. Allen fits have three classes. They are designated from LN1 to LN3. So let's solve an example to illustrate the design of Allen fits. A 2-inch key is to fit a slot in a fixture in order to locate a positioning block. Under no conditions is the block to transmit motion, yet it must assemble with a slight interference. So that is the basic requirement. A class 2 fit is prescribed. Draw the hole and key and dimension them. Make an analysis of the allowances. So we are given the class of fit that is LN2, and we are given the size that is 2. So the class of fit is LN2 and the size is 2.00. So we are having this table similar to the ones we saw in the previous segment. So this is table 12 from Machinery's handbook. And the standard interference location fits. So the size is 2, so that lies between 1.97 and 3.15. The class is LN2. So we are using basic hole system. So first we will determine the size of the hole and then we will determine the size of the shaft. So size of the hole will be equal to the size of the fit. So that is 2.00 plus 1.2. So that is 1.2 divided by 1000. So that will be plus 0.0012. So that is the size of the hole or the slot in this case. There will be no tolerance on the negative side. So this was about hole or slot in this case. And now what about the shaft or the key? Now the basic size of the shaft in this case will be equal to 2 plus 2.1. So that will be equal to its upper limit. So 2 plus 2.1 divided by 1000. So that will be equal to 0.0021. So basic size will be equal to 2.0021. You may remember that we had negative values under shaft in the case of clearance fits. Now what about the lower limit? So basic size and upper limit will be equal in the case of shaft, as we have already seen in the case of clearance fits. And we have to apply tolerance in the negative direction. So that will be equal to difference of these two values. So that will be 1.4 minus 2.1. So that will be equal to minus 0.7 or minus 0.7 divided by 1000. So that will be equal to 0.0007. So the lower limit will be equal to 0.0007. Now we have determined the sizes of the hole and shaft. Now we will make an analysis. So the size of the hole is 2.0 plus 0.0012. So the size of the shaft is 2.0021 plus 0 minus 0.0007. Analysis is important to be critically analyzed in this case. This is just the opposite to what we saw in the case of clearance fits. So the smallest slot that we can make will have a size of 2 and the maximum size of 2.0012, and the largest key or shaft will have a size of 2.0021 and the smallest will have a size of 2.0014 because that will be 2.0021 minus 0.0007, so that will be equal to 2.0014. Now the difference of the sizes when we are making the smallest hole or slot and the largest key will give us the maximum interference, and that is minus 0.0021. And once we are having the largest slot, the slot is made of the largest size and the smallest key, then the interference that we will be getting is the minimum interference. And that will be equal to minus 0.0002. So you may recall in the case of clearance fits that we were getting maximum clearance. We were getting maximum clearance when both were made at the LMC, when the hole and shaft were made at the LMC. So we were getting maximum clearance. And once both are made at the MMC, we were getting the minimum clearance. So please think over it and try to understand the difference in the case of two types of fits. The third group or category of fits are force and shrink fits. So first family was running and sliding fits. The second was occasional fits, and the third group is force and shrink fits. So they are designated as FN, so they are also interference fits like LN fits. Force and shrink fits constitute a special type of interference fit normally characterized by maintenance of constant bore pressures throughout the range of sizes. The interference, therefore, varies almost directly with diameter, and the difference between its minimum and maximum value is small to maintain the resulting pressures within reasonable limits. So it has 5 classes, FN1 through FN5, and each series produces its own characteristic pressure throughout a particular series. So we have to apply force, or we may have to actually heat the hole and then insert the shaft so that a fit is made once the hole shrinks. So that is why they are called force and shrink fits. They are very tight interference fits. So let's solve another example. In this case, again, we are having a 2-inch fit. So a 2-inch rod is to be assembled with a bushing by heating the bushing. So that is very important and interesting as well. So that is why they are called force and shrink fits. A class 4 fit is recommended. So we have to design 4 fit, draw the rod and bushings, dimension them, do an analysis of the allowances. So we are having similar table that we have seen. So the size of the fit is 2. So that will lie between 1.97 and 2.56. The class is FN4. And again, we are using the basic hole system. So first we will determine the size of the hole and then the size of the shaft. So size of the hole will be, as we have already seen in different examples, 2.000 plus this 1.2. So that is 1.2 divided by 1000. So that will be 0.0012 minus 0.000. So this was the case of a hole. In this case, now what about shaft? So first we need to determine the basic size of the shaft. So that will be equal to the upper limit. So that will be 2 plus 4.2. So this is 4.2 divided by 1000. So basic size will be equal to 2.0042. Of course, we are using unilateral system, so upper limit will be positive, will be 0. So 2.0042 plus 0. And the lower limit will be the difference of these two values. So that will be 3.5 minus 4.2. So that will be minus 0.7 or minus 0.7 divided by 1000. So minus 0.0007. So minus 0.0007. So we have determined the size of the hole and the shaft. Now we will make an analysis. So this is the drawing. So the size of the hole and size of the shaft. So the smallest hole that we can achieve will be equal to the lower limit of the hole. So that will be 2. And the largest hole will be equal to the upper limit. So that will be 2.0012. The largest shaft or rod that we can make will be equal to its upper limit. So that will be 2.0042. And the smallest rod will be equal to its lower limit of 2.0035. And the difference of the smallest hole and the largest shaft, that is the difference of the MMC of the two, will give us the maximum interference of 0.0042, and the difference of the LMCs, that is the largest hole and the smallest rod, will give us the minimum interference of minus 0.0023, and you can verify it from the table as well. So 2.3 and 4.2. So that is the amount of interference. So that will range from 0.0023 to 0.0042. So this is the minimum interference that we will obtain. So just like in the case of interference fits, we will always get interference. The smallest value will be 0.0023 and the largest 0.0042. But whatever is the combination of the sizes of the hole and the shaft that we will achieve, the shaft will always be larger than the hole, or hole will always be smaller than the shaft. So we will always be resulting in some amount of interference. So that is the definition of interference fit as well.